Good morning, everyone. For today's episode, I am going to continue the discussion of Mayflower Hagunas on the pronoun antecedent agreement. So first, rules of pronoun antecedent agreement. A pronoun is a word used to stand for or takes place a noun. We already know that. An antecedent is a word for which a pronoun stands. The pronoun must agree with its antecedent in number. A singular pronoun must replace a singular noun, and a plural noun must replace a plural noun. So, for example, Tatzania Gale posted her latest blog last night on YouTube. Tatzania Gale here is singular antecedent, so the pronoun referent must be also singular. Next. There are 9 pronoun antecedent agreement usage rules. So first is a phrase or clause between the subject and verb does not change the number of the antecedent. For example, the car of the players were parked on its designated spot. The prepositional phrase is of the players. Car is the subject, which is singular, and car and its pronoun is its, and it must also be singular. Second, indefinite pronouns as antecedent. So singular, there are 2 kinds of indefinite pronouns, the singular indefinite and the pronoun indefinite. So let us first tackle the singular indefinite. So singular indefinite pronouns antecedent take singular pronoun referent. These are the example of singular indefinite pronouns. Each, either, neither, one, no one, nobody, nothing, anyone, anybody, anything, someone, somebody, something, everyone, everybody, and everything. For example, from the team has a crush on his or her teammate. So anyone here is singular. So the pronoun must be used to be to agree with the indefinite pronoun here must be his or her. Next, number 3. Oh no, plural indefinite pronouns. Okay. Our antecedents require plural referent. So these are the example of plural indefinite pronouns. Several, few, both, many. For example, both of my co-workers did a great job in their task. So both here is plural. So the referent must also be pronoun, which is the pronoun there. And also, some indefinite pronouns are modified by a prepositional phrase may be either singular or plural. Either singular or plural example of indefinite pronouns are some, any, none, all, most, and etc. So, for example, okay, so when the object of the preposition is uncountable, we have to use a singular referent pronoun. For example, most of the sand fell out from its sock. So most here is either singular or plural. So, but we are going to use its, the pronoun its, which is singular because sand is uncountable. That is why we use the singular referent pronoun. Next, when the object of the preposition is countable, maihap, we have to use a plural referent pronouns. For example, all of the candies are lost in their jars. So all here is plural. So because the candy is countable, we are going to use a plural referent pronoun, which is there. So all of the candies are lost in their jars. Number 3, the third rule. Compound subject joined by and always take a plural referent. For example, Susie and Sam went to school in their scooter. So Susie and Sam are compound subjects. They are joined by the conjunction and. So we need to take a plural referent, which is there. Number 4. With compound subject joined by or not, nor, the referent pronoun agrees with the antecedent closer to the pronoun. Closer to the pronoun. So example number 1, this is for nor. Neither the teacher nor the students wanted their shoes dirty. So the teacher here is singular. The students is plural. And the closer to the pronoun is nor. So we must use a plural antecedent. So the antecedent is there because student is the closest to the referent pronoun. So we must use a plural antecedent. Next, rule number 5. Example number 2. Singular antecedent closer to pronoun. Singular antecedent closer to pronoun. So, for example, neither the students nor the teacher wanted his or her shoes dirty. So the students here is pronoun. Take note the arrangement of the sentence. So the students here is the pronoun. So the teacher here is singular. But the teacher is closer to the pronoun. So we are going to use a singular antecedent, which is his or her. Rule number 5. Collective nouns may be singular or plural depending on meaning. For example, the priest read its homily. So the priest here is singular. The priest is acting as one unit. Therefore, the referent pronoun is also singular, which is its. So the second example, the church members gave the response. So in this example, the church members are acting as individuals. So they are counted as plural. Therefore, the referent pronoun to be used is plural, which is there. So the church member gave the response. Next example, the church members brings peace among themselves. So just the same with the second example, the church member here are acting as individuals. Therefore, the referent pronoun we are going to use is plural, themselves. Okay, so let's proceed to rule number 6. Titles of single entities, such as books, organization, countries, or etc. It will take a singular referent. So take note that titles of a single entities must take a singular referent. For example, the Game of Thrones made its character seem real. So the Game of Thrones here is singular because this is a title of a book, of a title of a movie or a book. The Game of Thrones must be singular. So the referent must also be singular, which is its. Must also. What the hell? So rule number 7. Plural forms subjects with a singular meaning takes a singular referent, such as news, measles, mumps, physics, and etc. So plural form of the subject with a singular meaning takes a singular referent. For example, the news has lost much of its sting in 2 days. So the news here is just plural in form, but it is singular in meaning. So the referent we're going to use is also singular, which is its. Rule number 8. Every or many a before a noun or a series of nouns requires a singular referent. Every or many a before a noun or a series of nouns requires a singular referent. For example, many a girl wishes she could attend the BTS concert. So many here is before the noun girl. So it requires a singular referent, which is she. Then last rule is the number of versus a number of before a subject. If you are using a number of before a subject, your referent must be singular. For example, the number of volunteers increases its rank daily. So the number of here, you are using a number of before the subject volunteer. So this is singular. So you must use also a singular referent, which is its. Another example of number of is plural. Number of as plural. Okay. A number of volunteers are offering their hands to help. So a number of here is plural. So the referent pronoun is plural there. So let us review first the 9 rules of pronoun antecedent agreement. So first, a phrase or clause between the subject and verb does not change the number of antecedent. Number 2, indefinite pronouns as antecedent. Number 3, compound subject joined by and always take a plural referent. Number 4, compound subject joined by or nor agrees with the antecedent closer to the pronouns. Rule number 5, collective nouns can be singular or plural depending on its meaning. Then the 6th rule, titles of single entities such as books takes a singular referent. Number 7, plural form subject with singular meaning takes a singular referent such as news, measles, mumps, or physics. Number 8, every or many a before a noun or a series of pronouns requires a singular referent. And lastly, the number of versus a number of before a subject can be if a sentence starts with the number of, you have to use a singular referent. While if it starts with a number of, you must use a plural referent. Okay, that's all. It's the end of the presentation, so I hope you understand. We are going to proceed now with the assessment.